Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Let me, I think, I hope you can hear me now. If you couldn't hear me before, sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got to figure this all out, but I think it's okay now. Anyway, I just wanted to mention this. After Anthony Mackie, the actor who's playing quote unquote Captain America, he's not Captain America, he's Sam Wilson, the Falcon. They say, yeah, he was a Captain America in the comics. Yeah, sure. It was Bucky first, after Captain America went down, and then Sam. And I don't think it lasted. But anyway, I was reminded of an article I wrote in June 30th, 2011, for Front Page Magazine, David Horowitz's publication, called Captain America is Too American for Some Americans. Because before the first Captain America movie came out, the actor Chris Evans and the director, what's his name, Joe Johnston, we're talking the same shit about, because what's his name, the idiot, Anthony Mackie said that Captain America, he doesn't really represent America. He represents integrity and honesty and truth, and it's like Captain America represents America. He should know that. If you're playing Captain America, you should know that. So this is a cartoon that I drew that accompanied my article, where basically I have the director looking at Chris Evans as this nondescript Captain Globe, Captain World. They're trying to un-Americanize Captain America. And he goes, still too American. Can we show the opposite side of the globe? Because if you look at it, it's still focused on America. So the way you could fully un-Americanize it is by taking the map of America off of his chest. Anyway, so I'm just going to read my article, and then if you guys have any commentary after, cool. So basically, this is an article that I wrote 2011, not long before the movie came out. I think the movie must come out that summer, July, August, I'm assuming. It's called Captain America is Too American for Some Americans. The de-Americanization of American superheroes continues. Captain America is too American for some Americans. Which Americans? The director and star of the upcoming film Captain America First Avenger. The director, Joe Johnston, says this is not about America so much as it is about the spirit of doing the right thing. It's one second. It's an international cast and an international story. What's the title? Captain America. I mean, this is the same shit that Anthony Mackie was pulling today. This is not about America so much as it is about the spirit of doing the right thing. Yeah. Captain America represents the ideals of America. America at its best. Truth, justice, America at its best. Its founding ideals, individual rights, freedom, liberty. That's what he represents. And these idiots, they hate America flat out. This guy Hackey, he basically, I think someone said that he became the Falcon from the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, which is true. He gave a piece of shit there, and I think he just spilled over to his real life. And this movie's having problems already. This Captain America Brave New World is having problems already. Getting an audience. Ticket sales are bad. The pre-ticket sales are bad. Interest is low. They're misleading the audience by suggesting that the Red Hulk, played by Harrison Ford, is going to be in the movie a lot. It's supposedly a 5-minute, 10-minute scene. Anyway, so again, 14 years ago, the director of the Captain America movie, the first Captain America movie, First Avenger, said, to echo Anthony Mackie, it's the same shit with these guys, Hollywood whores. He goes, it's not about America so much as it is about the spirit of doing the right thing. It's an international cast and an international story. It's about what makes America great and what makes the rest of the world great too. Yeah, sure. That's multiculturalism. Hellholes are hellholes. America's America. The only reason why America has ever been called a hellhole is because the left who wants to undermine it from within. An actor, Chris Evans, who's a flat-out communist, he did a good job as Captain America, but he's such a piece of shit leftist. And actor Chris Evans, who plays Captain America in the film, when asked, what does it mean to you to basically be draped in the American flag for this film? Now, that's a leading question by a leftist, probably. almost trying to like test him, like, are you gonna, challenge us? Are you gonna wrap yourself in a flag? Or come on, we don't know patriotism bullshit. And he goes, well, to me, I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. Listen to this. The apologetics are disgusting. They're so used to being in these rat holes in LA that they can't recognize that America is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's the greatest country in the history of the world. It's not exaggeration. When I used to say, I said, we all know what the greatest country in the history of the world is as a post, right? People got pissed because they knew that I was talking about America without me saying America. Against their own wishes, they thought America. Anyone and everyone who read that. It was so funny. Somebody actually said, it's not America. I said, I didn't say America. You did. Anyway. So the asshole says, well, to me, I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. The American side of it. He's American. The director's American. They're making a movie about an American icon in America. This isn't a flag-waving movie. It is red, white, and blue. It's like, yeah, it is red, white, and blue, but it just so happens that the character was created in America during wartime. Oh, yeah, it just so happens that his name is Captain America. Not Captain Planet, not Captain World, not Captain Globe. When there was a common enemy, even though it is Captain America, what an asshole. I said before in interviews, it feels more like he should be just called Captain Good. Laughs. Yeah, because that would work. He was created at a time when there was this undeniable evil, and this guy was kind of created to fight that evil. Kind of created? He was created. I think that everyone could agree that Nazis were bad, and that he, Cap, just so happens to wear the red, white, and blue. And then I follow up, I said, they're clearly uneasy about the patriotism of the character, mainly the American aspect of it, and I'll have to see the film to find out exactly how that attitude manifests itself on screen. This kind of talk is particularly disappointing when it is about Captain America, our most patriotic superhero, but it is unfortunately just the latest example of a growing trend in comic books and the films that they spawn to de-Americanize American superheroes for the sake of those who are not American or are even hostile to America. In the Batman comic books, the character has gone global. Franchise, that was a piece of shit, Grant Morrison. Franchising, if you remember, he had a French counterpart who was a Muslim, of course. In the Batman comic books, the character has gone global, franchising his brand and even recruiting a Muslim to be his French counterpart. It's akin to having Batman recruit a German Batman during World War II without any mention of the Nazis. That's exactly what it is. Because the only time, we ever began to talk about Islam in any big way was after 9/11, after jihad. Meaning the only time we ever, as a country, began speaking about Islam was jihad. And of course, every time these comic book companies take on, any kind of Muslim characters, they don't mention the reason why we're discussing them. So I said, it's akin to having a Batman recruit a German Batman during World War II without any mention of the Nazis. The de-Americanization of Superman, was made clear in 2006 film Superman Returns, which has Clark Kent's boss, Perry White, describing Superman as fighting for truth, justice, all that stuff. I remember that. It pissed me off. It did. And they just can't bring themselves to do it. They have this animosity, a natural animosity towards America and being proud of America. And then a few months ago, this is, again, 2011, I wrote this. And then a few months ago in Superman comic books, the character renounced his U.S. citizenship, that is, until DC backtracked after it didn't go over well with the public, especially since the issue came out right before Osama bin Laden was killed. DC Comics was swiftly mocked, not only for the uncharacteristic storyline, but also for the timing of it, while Americans at large celebrated the American heroes who cut down one of the world's greatest villains. Despite the damper the filmmakers have put on my enthusiasm for the film, I'm planning to watch it because the previews promise an exciting, entertaining film, because it's possible that Captain America and all he stands for might actually overcome the filmmakers' lack of appreciation for it. And it was good. I really enjoyed Captain America, the first Avenger. There wasn't any of this bullshit in the movie. And who knows, from on high, some producers, I said, yeah, sure, sure. Think what you want, say what you want, but, this is an American icon here. We're not going to fuck around with that. But even though the character is still referred to as Captain America in the film's title, Captain America First Avenger, the studio clearly still felt a need to put a buffer around the word America in the title. By contrast, the Iron Man, Thor, and Spider-Man films, to take a few examples, had titles consisting of no more than the character's name. Hey Lux, evening. To make matters worse, again, I'm reading my 2011 article titled Captain America is Too American for Some Americans, where the director, Joe Johnston, and the actor, Chris Evans, were saying the same shit that the idiot Anthony Mackie is saying about, it's not really about America, you know, he doesn't represent America, Captain America. These goddamn leftists, they can't help themselves. They're truly anti-American by nature. They're not even hostile about it, not even aggressive about it. They're just naturally anti-American, where they can say such things, such stupid things. So, again, I had zero interest in watching this movie to begin with. Now I have negative 10 or 20. To make matters worse, the film studio has chosen to retitle the film simply First Avenger for certain foreign markets. Think about that. They're embarrassed of the Americanism of this film and of the character. I guess they concluded, and by the way, there was supposedly an overseas poster for the new Captain America movie where they have the guy who's playing Captain America, who's a black guy, in the distance, and his face is a little vague. You know, the racists. They pander to racists across the world, Disney, which makes them a racist. I guess they concluded that Captain America would be just too bloody American for some audiences. Whatever the studio's stated reasons, the fact is that they are deliberately catering to the anti-American market, and that's flat out un-American. It's this ambivalence about America by Americans that paves the way for this type of pandering. I suppose the constant denigration of America by the left in this country through the media, academia, entertainment, etc., has made even Americans who don't hate their country reluctant to defend it when it's attacked. Even Americans who don't hate their country reluctant to defend it when it's attacked. And that's true. I've seen it also. In the film, I've heard that Captain America fights Nazis. This is understandable because the film is set in World War II. Cap was born to fight America's enemies, whoever they were at any given point in time. But the Captain America of 2011's comic books is still fighting Nazis rather than America's current enemies, the jihadists. What's even more ridiculous is that in a recent issue of the Captain America series, number 611, the writer Ed Brubaker, I like the Winter Soldier story. I had a run-in with him. I tried to challenge him about fighting jihadists, and he wrote back, he goes, it'll be silly for have Captain America running around the desert and fighting jihadists. I said, when you put it that way, sure, idiot. But that's not the case. They killed nearly 3,000 Americans. He was born after the attack on Pearl Harbor. You know? I mean, that's when he came out. Well, supposedly, he came out, I believe, right before the attack, technically speaking. But the point is that he was created by two Jews who wanted to fight back against what they were hearing about the stories of the Nazis. Humi writes, definitely won't be watching. It was out when the shield was... Yeah, I was out when the shield was passed on. Me too. Mackey's fine as the Falcon. He was fine. He was fine because the rest of the movie and the series was really good, and he was fine. A serviceable actor, not a great actor, not a leading man, that's for sure. And he's a little homely looking, let's just say. You know, at least Evans looked the part. He's an asshole, but at least he looked the part. And he did a good job. That's one thing I can say about Chris Evans. You know, he did a good job as Captain America. He had integrity about it. Anyway, so in the film, I've heard that Captain America fights... Okay, sorry. What's even more ridiculous is that in a recent issue of the Captain America series, number 611, the writer would have us believe that the Nazis in his story are fighting socialists. That's right. I remember the writer tried to make us believe that the Nazis in his story who are National Socialists, which leftists don't want you to know. We're fighting socialists in there. And even some on the right say, well, you know, he hated socialists, Hitler. No, he was a socialist. The only thing he hated was those who would get in the way of his interpretation of socialism. He thought he was a true believer, like a real socialist, unlike the other ones, as he called pamphleteers, you know, about the commies, the socialist, international socialists, whatever you want to call it. But the point is that, I will say it again and again till the end of days, he hated socialists the way Sunni Muslims hate Shiite Muslims, the way Shiite Muslims hate Sunni Muslims. They're Muslims. They hate each other. They kill each other. They go to war with each other because they believe that they're the true believers, Wingus Dingus writes, Why would the desert setting be any more silly than Germany? Right? It's just what not things. It was an odd thing. It was Ed Brubaker. We were going back and forth, and he said something like, "Yeah, I was speaking to my friend Frank Miller." I was like, "You friend? How long that lasts?" But anyway, and he was doing the Holy Terror thing. I said, "Yeah, I'm doing a Pigman comic as well." I said, "But Captain America should be at the front line of this. I mean, he's the icon of America." The first character I thought about Rev 911, of course, was Captain America. And then I said, well, that's impossible. They would never let me do it. So that's when I started thinking about, okay, how can I create a character for this particular threat? Okay, growing up, we hated the pig. I'm going to wrap him in pigskin leather to exploit their bigotry. And so on, so on. Built from there. Anyway, let me keep going. Cap was born to fight America's enemies, whoever they were at any given time. Sorry. Okay. What's even more ridiculous is that in a recent issue of the Captain America series, number 611, the writer would have us believe that the Nazis in the story are fighting socialists, as if the Nazis weren't socialists themselves. The writer even had Cap taking on the Tea Party in the storyline. I remember that. Having Cap suggest that they're a bunch of racists. Yeah. The writer is clearly using Captain America as a mouthpiece for his left-wing views, and Marvel clearly did not have a problem with it until there was a public outcry that forced them to respond. Now, it got even worse later. Marvel made Captain America into a member of Hydra, a Nazi. And they tried to imply, through the leftist writer, that he was always a Nazi. This has always been a front. And then the Captain America that we have now was created by the Cosmic Cube, the pure version. It's like a idealized version, but that's a fake version, but that's the one that's in the Marvel Universe right now. It's sickening. It's sickening, and the Rats tried to say at one point also, the Marvel Rats, the editors and writers, they said, well, Hydra weren't really Nazis after they were called out. They were always Nazis. Always Nazis. They called themselves, Nazis. The Fourth Reich they fought for. They wanted to, let me show you something here quick. Hydra. One second, guys. Anyway, there was one issue I remember in X-Men. It was Magneto and some members of Hydra, and he was calling them Nazis, and they were calling themselves Nazis in the Fourth Reich. So anyway, it's on record that Hydra was Nazis. They were the Nazis, and Marvel, after they got caught, after the backlash, again, they want to fuck with readers. They do. They get off on this. I want to hear behind the scenes how these guys speak to each other about the fan stuff. Oh yeah, let's make Captain America Nazi. Oh yeah, they're gonna hate it. They did it right in the heart of, at least at this. Yeah, they did it right in the heart of, I think, Trump's presidency. I believe so. I believe that's when they made him a Nazi. Anyway, post 9/11, the only time Marvel Comics came close to having Captain America, aside from the Ultimate version, take on the American enemies of today was when he fought a terrorist group that somewhat resembled Al-Qaeda. I remember that as well. And the main thing I remember from that forgettable storyline was when the leader of the group aired his grievances about America directly to Captain America, with Cap promptly apologizing to him for whatever this killer accused America of doing. Cap, in effect, was depicted as actually giving credence to a mass-murdering madman's claims. I also recall another post-9/11 moment where Captain America was flying in a plane over Dresden, Germany, lamenting what America did to the city in World War II. The writer has Captain America equating what we did in Dresden with a jihad attack on our country in 9/11. You start a war, you can be ended. Whatever it takes. That's it. And Captain America's creators knew that. Those who wrote him for years knew that, until a leftist whore who worked for a politician. That's how low this guy was. He worked for a politician. He was a real political activist. Anyway, Nick Spencer, a piece of shit. I haven't heard his name for years. Have you? No. I mean, that guy just, poisoned the well there. There's no patriotism like American patriotism, and there's no patriotic superhero like Captain America. If that assertion bothers you, then try naming a country that has a greater heritage than ours. If it doesn't bother you, if you actually take pride in it, then you understand what Johnston, Evans, and unfortunately many Americans don't. That America is, as Ayn Rand put it, the greatest, the noblest, and in its founding principles, the only moral country in the history of the world. Listen to that. I mean, this is a woman who thought her ass off, that she spent her life thinking and writing and philosophizing, and, she understood. She came from Russia. She came to America by choice and understood its greatness. She called it America the greatest, the noblest, and in its founding principles, and that's key, in its founding principles, the only moral country in the history of the world. Incredible. Wingy's thing is, wasn't the Dresden bombings a British thing? Probably, yeah, mainly, maybe, but the point is they're trying to suggest that America and at large, the West, they were evil for doing that. That's a piece of shit writer doing it, saying that. How about the bombing of London? How about the murdering of Jews? How about the going into Poland and France? And how about that? No. The writer's not worried about that. He's just worried about our retaliation against evil and stopping evil. Because had he had his way, he probably would have, hey, what he's saying there, think about this. If he's lamenting the bombing of Dresden, he's saying we should have not have killed the Nazis and wiped them out. Hey, Diana. Hello, Bosch. Thank you for having the integrity for creating Pigment to fight jihad and Islam and the comic. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then I continue, I say, I love America. Maybe my being the son of immigrants who came from a country ravaged by both Islam and communism, Albania, helps me more fully to appreciate how fortunate I am to be born and raised in a country that recognizes the sanctity of the individual. Whatever problems we may have as a country can usually be traced back to our not living up to our founding principles. Whenever someone bitches and moans about America, right, it's always the point that when we betray our founding, when we betray what makes America America, that's when we go to hell. That's when things go real bad, like the last 4 years. Hello, John. And then I'm about to, this is the last paragraph here. Again, I wrote this 2011 after the idiot director and idiot actor of the first Avenger, Captain America movie, Johnston, what's his name again? Joe Johnston and Chris Evans were echoing the same shit that the idiot Anthony Mackie said about America. That Captain America doesn't really represent America. It's more of a global thing, and more about integrity and truth and honesty and justice. And yeah, that's America at its best. It's America at its best. We are the greatest country in the history of the world by our founding principles and what we have been able to accomplish in a very short period of time. Why? Because we've unleashed human freedom. That's when innovation can explode and create things that never have existed before. And that's the thing. We've been stymied by the left. The left doesn't want us to travel. They don't want us to create new medicines and travel and go to Mars. They mock it. They laugh at that. Here's a final paragraph. I guess it's a sign of the times, and not only has it taken 10 years after 9/11 for there to actually be a Captain America movie, should have been a lot sooner than that, but also that it's brought to us by those who think Captain America is too American. I hope to enjoy the film, but I can't help but anticipate how the attitude of the filmmakers might affect it. Maybe since having worked on the film, they've earned a newfound appreciation of the character and of America. We'll find out soon enough. And it was good. The movie was good. I like it. I own it. And again, this is the cover. This is the cartoon that accompanied my article, where I have the director saying, still too American. Can we show the opposite side of the globe? That to him is still too American. That it has, the globe with the American skull, Trevor. He says, Bosch, why would they want to represent America? We try to destroy the class system they all want so badly. I know. Because it's popular, because Captain America is popular. And that's what a lot of these rats do. They hate Star Wars, they hate all these things, right? But they want to have a hand in it, to flip it, to just twist it, and to fuck with us, really. I mean, that's, it is part of the motive. They want to fuck with America. They want to fuck with reality. And they are nihilists. They take this great character, who stood the test of time. I mean, Captain America is 80 years old, I mean, he's 80 years old. It's incredible. A great character. And if you notice, the way Marvel does not allow non-Muslims to write their Muslim superhero, which is fine by me. I mean, who the hell would want to write that? They don't allow anyone but Muslims to write it, but they don't allow anyone but anti-American leftists to write Captain America. They don't allow patriots to write Captain America. They don't. Every single last Captain America right now is a leftist whore who wants to un-Americanize the character. They're embarrassed by it. And again, it's like, what a presumption also to be embarrassed by it. It's like, who the hell are you? You guys are pieces of shit. You're anti-Americans. It's like the character himself is better than you are, and you guys are alleged human beings. But yeah, again, I had zero interest in watching the Anthony Mackie play Captain America. He's he was serviceable again as the Falcon. He's fine. Captain America, give me a break. Captain America's supposed to be a very heroic, tall, built, handsome guy. Anthony Mackie's not that. He's not a leading man. He looks like a gremlin. He looks like shit. And he's an idiot on top of that. Trevor says they are incapable of creating. They only focus their jealousy as a weapon of destruction. 100%. They want to get their hands on things that are popular. The things that they don't care for, but like, it's popular. So I can make a bigger bang by destroying this character. I can make a bigger bang than just creating my own character, because that's, there's nothing built there. This is why they only destroy. They can't build. And this, to what Trevor's saying, is true. It's so much easier to destroy than it is to build. And that's why it also shows something about their laziness. They can't quite get they also, one thing, they can't, and this is true, think about this also, Marvel, DC, Disney, all these rat-infested hellholes of leftism, right? They can't have characters and create characters, new characters, that represent their values. Because then the game is truly over. So they have to try to pervert the ones that exist. Because if they were to have characters that represent them, we're talking flat-out communists. I mean, communist superheroes, which is impossible because they're all villains. But they can't do that. But it frustrates them because they're like, fuck, I gotta hide this shit. God damn it. So that's why they turned Captain America into a Nazi. That's why they do these horrific things. That's why they make Batman have an argument with Alfred. And Alfred says, you go out at night and you, brutalize poor people and dark people. Warren Ellis wrote that. Piece of shit. Another leftist whore. These guys are real scum. But again, they cannot create characters that reflect their values, or at least they can't do that. They know that then the game would be over, that the mask is too off, that the mask is way off. And so yeah, they take these good characters and pervert them. But they can only go so far. They cannot. It's like Spider-Man, right? They have to keep milking him because they can't go too far away from who he is. They'll try to fuck around, this and that, but they can't go too far because they know that they can't, literally. If they try to make him into a communist, it's over. If he starts wearing a hammered sickle instead of the spider, they're like, it's too obvious, first of all. But also, so again, there's that frustration aspect there where they're like, I can't create a character with my values, so I'm going to bring down these other ones out of sheer frustration. Because they know that their characters, the marketplace would reject them completely. This asshole just hurt. Already, the new Captain America movie, I can't even call it a Captain America movie. I don't know what the hell it is. It's the Falcon with another Falcon who wears a semi-Captain America movie, Also, he doesn't have the super soldier serum, right? And he doesn't wear a helmet. Why not? Even in Captain America with the super soldier serum wore a helmet to protect himself. Why doesn't he wear a helmet? Plus, he flies. It makes even less sense. I mean, Captain America doesn't fly. So this Captain America has wings and whatever. And then Harrison Ford, my God, what a whore. He's such a... It's like, what you been doing, bro? Why are you this hard up for money? I mean, what have you been doing? You've been making movies for 40 years, 50 years. You're making a ton of money. It's like, you don't have to do this. He's 80 years old playing a Red Hulk. It's clearly about money. He doesn't give a shit either. He's always bitching and moaning about movies like, ugh, get the hell off the stage, bitch. What an annoying ass. Yeah, and he was great as Han Solo in that first one. The second one, too. Third one, oof. Third one, you could almost see him watching, his watch, Return of the Jedi. He was great as Indiana Jones in the first three. I can't watch the others. I haven't. I think I saw the fourth one maybe years ago. Checked out on it here and there. The fifth one, I can't. It's impossible. Why the hell would I go there? But anyway, I just want to share that with you. Again, they're hurting themselves. They're going to pay a price for it. And Anthony Mackie is just, again, they thought they can get away with it. They thought they could shove down a guy who doesn't live up to Captain America at all, and now even more as a person, he doesn't. He doesn't recognize how lucky he is to play Captain America. This idiot actor. He gets a chance to star in a Marvel movie, right, with a icon, and goes out there and says, "Yeah, it doesn't really represent America." And the way he said it with contempt, America. What an asshole. Anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. I'm going to get going. You guys be well. You take care. And those who check us out after, check it out. I've done a number. I just sold, actually, a Captain America cartoon the other day with Captain America having a position like Uncle Sam. And say, "I want you" type thing. But here it says, "You're the Nazis, Marvel." Because Marvel turned him into a Nazi. They turned him into a member of Hydra. And my idea was that you guys are socialists. Hitler was a socialist. You guys are Nazis. Yeah, but he was a national socialist. A socialist is the point there. It's not nationalism. This idea where I'm a nationalist, well, that even came out after, I think, Trump, and they embraced it. Someone, right? I'm a nationalist. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. I don't call myself a nationalist. I don't do that. I don't play with that language. Anyway, hey Jay. All right, guys. You take care. Be well, and thanks for chiming in. Appreciate it. You guys take care.